What's up, Internet? This is Virtue Fire with the second video in my Be a Scrub tutorial series. As a follow-up to the last one, I'm going to be covering how to get the opponent into that very vital corner positioning. But as a quick note, I want to say that this is not something that I think you should do right into an online match. It's not the second you hear it, you should try it online. I think you should stay in the training room for as long as possible. But if you are going to go online, because online is a very important training and practicing learning tool, you should try and make it your entire focus. You should try and make getting the enemy into the corner, zoning them in there, and then doing damage your focus. Because trying to concentrate on everything, projectile placement, attraction repulsion placement, dodging hypers, doing random hypers, all that stuff can be very hard to focus on all at once, and it can make it so if you lose, you don't know why you lost, and when you win, you don't understand why you won, or if it's out of improvement or out of luck. So it's just very important to make this thing something you concentrate on, make it something you can do without thinking about before you try and incorporate it with everything else. So going online, get them in the corner, don't make an effort, a special effort to do any damage until you get them in the corner, and then just go nuts. Anyways, getting right into it, I want to talk again about a sentinel assist. Now, it's still a good assist, nothing's changed there, but I want to talk about learning how and when to call it. Because this is something that I know a lot of people, myself included, had when they first started Marvel vs. Capcom, is learning when to call the assist and how to do it frequently. And I think I developed a good mindset for how to do that, and it's find something that you do quite often, like let's say it's hypergrav or your projectile or something like that, something that you already do without thinking, and attach it to that in your brain. So every time you do that, you call it a sentinel assist, or any assist. And what I do is every time I jump forward, I call assist. And so this is even when I'm jumping forward, like super jumping forward, and during super jumps you can't call assist. Super jump forward, can't call assist, I still call assist. I still press the button. Even when my assist is dead, even when my assist is at risk, I'm not going to second guess or ignore all the training and learning I have done just because of one situation. Just because he's in danger once, you shouldn't neglect using him every other time. So that is my method. You can develop your own if you want, but I think that is just in general a good way to develop that habit. Get it down so where you can do it without having to focus on it. It can be an entirely thing you do off of muscle memory, so you can focus on other things like all that attraction, repulsion, laser crap. So I'm going to put Nemesis and myself in rough starting positions. Now, this isn't exact in the distance or at where we are on the stage, but this is around the area. This is the closest to the corner than is accurate, but it's alright. You're going to be moving around so much near the beginning of the match that you might end up here anyways, and you'll be covering a lot of distance, so this is good. This is good for what I'm talking about. And what I want to talk about is right at the ready fight signal, because that is a very important part of the match. That is when momentum is either started or completely cut off for one player. And so I want to talk about an aggression-based game plan in that part of the match. I'll talk about defense and avoiding aggression in a different video. Right now, though, I want to talk about being all up in the face of the person, rushing them down, just being aggressive. And so what I'm talking about when I want to talk about that, if you don't know, is the very simple, very basic, works high level, low level, it works anywhere. Just starting out, jump H, call assist. Now this is something you can see UVG Noel Brown do a lot. In fact, I think he has done it every single time since Marvel vs. Capcom 3 has come out. And it's good because not only is characters like, in his case, Wolverine, in this case, Magneto, are their H's really good. Like, look at this, it covers a lot of space, it's a good anti-air, it's a good poke, it's good hit confirm the lasers. It's not just good because of that, it's also the throw button. So, if you're going in and you're walking up to the enemy and you're just doing back or forward H, you're going to either they're either going to back out of the throw range and have to block this, or they're going to tank a throw, or they're going to get hit by this, or they're going to tech a throw. In either case, you're forcing them to do something already that they might not want to do, but that might not be part of their game plan. And so already denying part of their game plan is a very important part of the very beginning of the match. It's something that you have a lot of control over, and you're going to want to fight as hard as you can for that. Now, the reason why you call assist, it's pretty straightforward, is that regardless of what they do, even if you miss something, if they get hit by something, any situation, they are then going to immediately have to block or get hit by the Sentinel assist. And this is good because it shuts down more of the screen. You can see it's covering like about a third of the screen space, or the total stage space, I should say. But it covers a lot of stage space. It prevents them from doing any aggression-based plan, because even if they hit you somehow, they're still going to get hit by the Sentinel assist. Very few characters can avoid that. I'm not sure if any can, but I mean, it's Marvel. I'm sure some can find a way. So it shuts down so much of their possible plan. It gives you such an early advantage, and it's so wide and all-encompassing. It's not an instant win, but it is a plan that can be very beneficial for you. It'll just be very easy to execute, very easy to plan out, and very easy to capitalize off of. Now, let's say that he's playing defensively, or maybe not even defensively, but knows that this is something that he can't straight out beat, the enemy can't straight out beat, and so he crouch blocks. So I jump and I whiff the jumping H and I call assist. So he's down there and he's blocking, he's right about there, and he's blocking the Sentinel assist. Now from this point on, there is not much you can do there is not one plan you can make that is an instant win. There is no trick you can do I want to get that point across very, very firmly, is that there's no trick or plan you can make that will make all other plans obsolete, that'll shut down the enemy completely, because it's just, trying to use a trick to win a game is a flawed idea. I want people to get that out of their head, that you can't use one move to win every game, or else you would see every pro mashing that at every tournament. It's just something you cannot do. So instead of having one plan, I want everybody to develop a mindset, and that's expansion versus retraction. And this is expanding every time your opponent is either defending or doing aggression that you can beat out. It's being aggressive, being in their face every time they're doing something like that. That is expansion. Aggression when you can afford it. Retraction is when you can't afford it. When, like, they're doing a move that beats out your move every time, or an armor move, or a beam hyper that you can't get there in time to stomp. It is doing as blocking, defending, avoiding, doing that sort of thing, hoping that they get hit by a stray Sentinel assist, using lasers to kind of make them back off, or send them to the other side of the screen so you can get your advantage back, that sort of thing. So if Nemesis is blocking, or he's doing jumping S, which jumping S can be beat out by a lot of Magneto's moves, so if he's, say, doing that, even though he's being aggressive, I know I can beat it out. So I expand, I try and put him back in that corner area. And if he's defending, I just go in with regular mix-ups. I try and do my main central game plan, which is, Magneto mix-ups. And so, let's say that they get here because of that. But if they're doing something like, Nemesis still has his crouching H and standing H, which are both armor moves. If I do light, medium, heavy, he'll have hit me before the medium even comes out, even if the light hits. That is an armor move. That is something that I should be retracting against. I should be hoping he gets hit with Sentinel assist during. Something I want to completely avoid. Something I do not want to be near him, because one touch from Nemesis is a lot of damage. And so, this kind of game plan, this kind of covering a lot of space tactic. Now, this is something that if you want to get a good example of it, you should look up JWong, his Iron Fist Akuma synergy. Now, because this doesn't exclusively work with Sentinel and a character like Magneto with a good jumping normal. Iron Fist is a very grounded character, and what JWong does all the time is that he kind of uses jump in the air and do that, and then have Akuma Tatsu assist covering the bottom. he is always using that sort of thing to keep the enemy, no matter who they're playing, as grounded as Iron Fist is, to try and get in those mix-ups that Iron Fist has, and I'm doing the inputs for Iron Fist even though I'm not using him. And that's what you want to do. You want to put the enemy into a position where you can either meet them or get an advantage over them. You don't want to put Nemesis in a position where he's always doing, crouching H. You don't want to put Hulk in a position where he can always jump S, jump H, S onto you all day long. You want to put them in a position, keep them in a position where you can have a constant advantage, and where they have to work a lot harder than you do to try and get out of it. And so look up, I'm going to link the videos of these matches in the description. JWong Winter Brawl 6, JWong versus MarlinPie, and then Socal Regionals Grand Finals. I forget who it was against, but I remember James Chin and Ultra David ended up talking about it on their Tuesday show. Whoopsies, I had to fly there. But it is very important. You can see the game plan perfectly. It is immediately evident, immediately clear what he is trying to do, and it makes it very clear how effective this tactic is. And just combining those things, knowing when to call assist, knowing what normals to use, expanding when you can, retracting when you have to, I think that is, in essence, the very basics of getting the opponent into the corner. And that's what you want to do. You want to have a plan that is very basic. It relies more on simple concepts than specifics, because you can't say, if he's using this, then I use this, because an if-then statement for every single thing that can happen in Marvel, that is impossible. It's Marvel. You can't do that. You can't cover every single base. So I think that'll just about wrap it up for the very basic part of getting them in the corner. It is obviously more complicated than that in a real match, but that goes without saying on pretty much all these tactics and videos that, it's going to be more complicated when you're fighting a real person. But yeah, just those elements. Those are I want people to take away from this video is expansion, retraction, training yourself to call assist on muscle memory, focusing on certain things on the training room, having a good opening. That's very solid, basic jump H, throw, tech throw, assist opening. That is what I want you to take away from those videos. Please subscribe, like the video and all that, and I'll be making another one tomorrow. GG, Internet.